Hi guys, it's Narelle Cook from Canine Pharmaceuticals and welcome to another week of Thursday's Thoughts. This is where I share bite-sized pieces of scientific information that I find really interesting, and I hope you do too. This week, we're going to look at a topic that I'm quite passionate about, so I'll try and keep it brief, but there is a risk that it will blow out. So this week I want to look at the role of Maillard reaction products and advanced glycation end products in animal feed and the impact on health that has. So this review paper was published in 2018 and it's a really great paper. You can we'll put the link in the comments so you can find it, download it and read through it yourself. But basically, where do I start? So the majority of food that's fed to livestock and domestic pets, it's highly processed, and this processing at very high temperatures for extended periods of time promotes a non-enzymatic reaction between the proteins in the food and the carbohydrates or the sugars in the food that's called the Maillard reaction. So unfortunately, the Maillard reaction leads to the creation of what's called advanced glycation end products, as well as other really toxic compounds such as acrylamide, which is a known carcinogen. The creation of these Maillard reaction products, they're saying it's a real concern because they have been shown to contribute to the increasing prevalence of diet-related chronic inflammatory states in the gut and a lot of other negative health consequences around that. So we're going to sort of fly through this paper today and highlight some of the main issues that you need to be aware of. Here they're saying, in animals and humans, consumption of large quantities of AGEs, which is advanced glycation end products, have been shown to induce pathological alterations and are increasingly the subject of a lot of safety studies. So what happens with advanced glycation end products? They cause the cross-linking of proteins in the body, and what can happen is that can hinder the function of certain tissues in the body as well as their turnover and their repair. The AGEs can also bind to receptors on different tissues in the body and cause an inflammatory response in those tissues. And the authors here are saying, the development of chronic systemic inflammation, which they call metaflammation, is the consequence of, prolonged exposure to AGEs. This is associated with many cancers in both humans and dogs. That's been documented. And they're saying, canine diet should therefore limit the stimulation of this age/metaflammation response to reduce the risk of cancer. And they're saying, feeding diets lower in AGEs is a really great step to lower the prevalence and the incidence of cancer in dogs. So they note as well, in human diabetics who tend to have higher blood levels of advanced glycation end products, they found that if they consumed a diet that was lower in these Maillard reaction products, that they had improvements in wound healing, which is really important for diabetics. Advanced glycation end products have been associated with age-related diseases in humans such as atherosclerosis, nephropathy, retinopathy, osteoarthritis, neurodegenerative diseases, and diabetes. But they also highlight the issues that occur in dogs. So in dogs, they see age-related diseases that are very similar to what we see in humans. So diabetes and also conditions like cataracts, osteoarthritis, neurodegenerative canine cognitive dysfunction syndrome, vascular dysfunction, and atherosclerosis. So, the diseases we're seeing in dogs are really closely mirroring the diseases we're seeing in humans. And there's lots of research now to show the connection between the level of AGEs being consumed in the diet and these conditions occurring. So, like I said, this is quite a long paper with lots of different sort of aspects to it. But this is really interesting. So exposure to AGEs, it induces immune activation, which can lead to sort of local effects in the gut, including tissue damage and inflammation. And you think about the prevalence of, let's say, leaky gut in ourselves and our dogs, and just sort of the downstream negative consequences of that is just huge. But they're also saying, as well as like that local effect in the gut, it also can activate the immune system more broadly, leading to like systemic inflammation. And one example of one of the negative aspects of this is allergy. So they're saying, dietary ages are likely having a significant role in food allergies in our dogs as well. This is a great image, and I love that they've sort of highlighted this here. So commercial kibbles and commercial canned foods are extremely high in advanced glycation end products, and that's because they are exposed to very high temperatures over extended periods of time. And it's not just in the formation of the final product. You think about all of the individual ingredients that go into a kibble, for example. So a lot of those are processed individually at high temperatures. So they're already high in ages, and then they're combined to create the final sort of kibble, which is then exposed to more, high temperatures for extended periods of time. So you're getting this accumulation of ages in the final product. So when our dogs consume something like a commercial kibble, very high in ages, goes into the systemic circulation. And here they've just highlighted, various research papers that show the consequences of that. So elevated oxidative stress, meta-inflammation, cancer development in dogs, association with cardiovascular disease, with dementia, aging, metabolic syndrome, impaired tissue healing, promoting tissue injury. And then down here, the development of inflammation and allergy. So if you have an allergy dog or cat, or yourself, you suffer from allergies, it's a really fundamental part of the treatment protocol that you move your dog off commercial kibble and canned foods. Like, I'm sorry if, this can be quite a controversial topic, but there's just no way around it. And, the evidence is quite clear of what these foods are doing in our dogs' bodies. So, they're highlighting here pet animals, including dogs and cats, are most often fed commercial foods that are highly processed and unfortunately which they consume, every day for their entire lives. As a consequence, higher age content, in the plasma from dogs suffering from conditions such as diabetes and impaired renal function compared to healthy dogs. Just on that renal function point, so advanced glycation end products are actually excreted in the urine. So there's a lot of research around the connection between, the dietary levels of ages and the development of kidney disease. And if you think about cats, they're so prone to kidney disease, and a lot of cats are fed a commercial dry food for their entire lives. They don't drink a lot of water naturally, so their urine is quite concentrated. So something to consider if you have a cat with kidney disease. And the amount of advanced glycation end products and Maillard reaction products generally are significantly higher, per kilogram of body weight in our dogs and cats compared to what's in the average human diet, because we do get a lot more variety in our diets, which is great. Like I said, a lot of dogs are just on the same dry food or canned food for every meal of their entire life. So here they're just highlighting again, there is substantial evidence to support the association of these sort of glycated proteins with several chronic disorders, which are principally caused due to the accumulation of advanced glycation end product modified proteins in the cells and tissues of the body. Again, here they're just highlighting the potential for gut barrier damage due to these compounds and a compromised epithelial barrier function, which can then, impact the immune system and lead to systemic inflammation and disease development. I have gone through this super quickly, but they're saying despite the proven relation of the Maillard reaction to the effect of, protein quality by impairing the bioavailability of amino acids and minerals in the food, decrease in the digestibility of the food, and increase in the immunoreactivity of the proteins, they're saying that they still need more information, but they're saying it's urgent. They urgently need to study this more in animals for the health and welfare of our pets. So that's just crazy. Like I said, this is a topic I'm quite passionate about, because I do generally deal with sick animals. So we have a consultation service with Canine Pharmaceuticals. So you can go to the website caninepharmaceuticals.com.au and look for the consultation tab at the top. But because I'm often dealing with sick animals, diet plays a fundamental role in their recovery. And so I am more of a raw food proponent, but raw food isn't for every dog. So even a lightly cooked home prepared diet will have huge benefits over a commercial kibble or canned food diet, because even if you're cooking something at home, it's still going to be exposed to far lower temperatures for far shorter periods of time than a commercial option, which will naturally bring the advanced glycation end product levels down in that food. The other really important thing with this topic is adding fresh foods like brightly colored fruits and vegetables in small amounts into your dog's diet, because they can help to offset the damage that these advanced glycation end products are causing in our pets and ourselves. If this is new to you, let me know in the comments. If you've got any questions about how you might do things differently with your dog, because I understand it's stressful when you're trying to transition your dog from a commercial diet to a commercial raw or a home prepared meal, but we can absolutely help you with that. So please reach out to info@canineceuticals.com.au if you would like some guidance around diet for your pet. So thank you for another week of Thursday's Thoughts, and I'll see you next week.